Governor Ronald Reagan is in the Southland today to participate in a parade through downtown Los Angeles, marking the 157th anniversary of Mexico's independence. The governor arrived at International Airport after his administration had received a partial victory in its battle to cut back the mushrooming cost of Medi-Cal, the state's program of free medical care to the poor. Superior Court Judge Irving Perlis has permitted the state to limit treatment in private hospitals to 8 days and to trim back the number of drugs that can be dispensed free of charge. Judge Perlis, following a confusing 4-hour hearing yesterday, also signed a formal judgment prohibiting the state from carrying out most of its planned $210 million in cuts in the program. The administration has appealed the ruling, and Governor Reagan says future cutbacks would depend on the outcome of that appeal.
If the decision goes against us, obviously we'll have to seek other means. But as I've said before, this to us was the most effective way to do this with the least risk to people with health problems. It sounds nice to talk about cutting across the board on a proportionate basis, but what you're doing, if you do that, you are restricting in every category of aid the number of people that can receive help. And this means that someone who, for example, needs a cancer operation can't have that in order that you provide braces for the teeth of someone else.
Otherwise, the Romney-Rockefeller-Reagan meeting next week in San Francisco may not take place because of scheduling difficulties. The three governors will attend a conference on financial difficulties of medical aid programs, but on different days. KRLA News Overseas Dateline Saigon. The situation for the most part is quieted down in the Mekong Delta River area. The U.S. Navy and Army forces routed a Viet Cong battalion. 3 sailors were killed and nearly 60 wounded, the highest battle casualties the Navy has encountered during the war. In political news regarding that embattled nation, South Vietnamese Foreign Minister Tran Van Do said today that peace negotiations between North and South Vietnam might take place before the end of the year. But a Filipino newsman visiting North Vietnam says North Vietnam's foreign minister says the time is not yet right. In Los Angeles, U.S. Senator Thomas Kuchel says he believes the Johnson administration is making an error in picking the tactical targets for bombing in the North. Echoing statements previously made by Republican leaders Richard Nixon and Barry Goldwater, Kuchel said tactical decisions should be made by the nation's professional military leaders. The senator is on his way to South Vietnam for a 2-week fact-finding tour. In Washington, meanwhile, House Speaker John McCormick, the Massachusetts Democrat, says next year's elections will vindicate President Johnson's conduct of the war.
I think President Johnson's going to be reelected. Vice President Humphrey's going to be reelected. I think we have a record to go before the people. When we come next year, the Republican candidates have got to campaign affirmatively. They got to stand for something. They just can't simply say, I'm against everything. We listen to the different ones talk, and all they're doing is complaining, and they're not offering saying what they would do if they were president of the United States. Some of the Republican candidates, they're not actually announced yet, but they're going around the country talking. It'll be very interesting if they tell the American people what they stood for. They'll have to do it sooner or later.
At the United Nations, Secretary General U Thant says he hopes UN members will support new peace initiatives on Vietnam. But he says for the time being, he has suspended his own efforts in the search for a settlement. Thant told a news conference that he hopes that new peace moves based on the principles of the Charter will be seriously considered by all members of the UN. San Francisco, Lieutenant General James Gavin, the former U.S. ambassador to France, says if he were president, he would halt the Vietnam bombing and negotiate with Hanoi. The retired Army officer, now chairman of an industrial research and engineering firm, told a gathering of Commonwealth Club the war should be kept as limited as possible and settlement should be sought through negotiations. Los Angeles, the American Civil Liberties Union, which has aided the anti-Vietnam War Peace Action Council in obtaining police commission parade permits, has volunteered its service to the Support Our Servicemen Committee. The committee is attempting to get a parade permit for a pro-Vietnam demonstration on September 23rd. In offering its help to the committee, ACLU Executive Director Eason Monroe said his group is, quote, prepared to defend the constitutional rights of all citizens, no matter what their views, end of quote. Los Angeles, a woman who attended an American Nazi Party meeting claimed that West Coast leader Ralph Forbes planned in advance to disrupt a Wilshire Boulevard Peace March held last August 6th. Forbes and 2 other Nazis are on trial for disturbing the peace and participating in a riot after assertedly the testimony against Forbes comes from Mrs. Noreen McKell. a 23-year-old clerk typist from the district attorney's office who said she attended the Nazi party on her own out of curiosity. She said she took notes on her plastic purse with an eyebrow pencil and heard Forbes make anti-Semitic and racist remarks, as well as exhorting his listeners to break up the peace march. KRLA News Time, 9 minutes past 9.
Man, look at that mob. We'll never get the tee off. I gotta be home sometime.
Oh, cool it, Buck. We always get to play. Say, what's wrong with you today?
Nerves. Tense. Edith and I had a fight. You got an aspirin?
You got a headache?
No.
Got a pain?
I just want an aspirin, Dad. What are you bugging me?
Aspirin is for headache.
What do I want? Compose?
Yeah, Compose. That little gentle blue pill. Compose.
Once in a while, you can be let down by simple nervous tension. That's when you want Compose. Not aspirin, not a painkiller. Compose, largest selling non-prescription sedative to help you get temporary relief from occasional simple nervous tension. To help you get back on the ball on an off day. So you can work and play relaxed or relax to sleep. Why guess? Headache, take aspirin. Tension, take Compose. Just 98 cents.
New York City, hopes of an eventual agreement between New York striking teachers and the City Board of Education have been kept alive by plans for further negotiations later today. Teachers union representatives and the board met with Mayor John Lindsay for 8 hours overnight, and although no settlement was reached, this afternoon's scheduled talks between the parties has raised the possibility of a weekend settlement. However, in Washington, Commissioner of Education Harold Howe predicts there will be more teachers' strikes.
I view it primarily as a breakdown in the proper relationships between responsible teacher organizations and responsible boards of education. I don't regard it as an enterprise that's planned in any sense. I'm afraid because teachers have not been well compensated in the United States over the years that we're likely to have more rather than less such strikes.
In other labor news, the Ford Motor Company and the striking United Auto Workers Union have agreed to continue negotiations Monday, although there is little expectation of a quick settlement of that strike. Both sides resumed bargaining talks yesterday for the first time in 8 days in an attempt to agree on a contract that would end the walkout of 160,000 UAW workers at 4 plants in 25 states. The Rockettes, the high-stepping dancers of New York City's Radio City Music Hall, plan to brighten the nation's picket lines today. Some 77 members of the dance troupe and corps de ballet are staging a walkout because of a wage contract dispute. Now for sports, KRLA's Jim Steck.
Heavyweight contender Irish Jerry Quarry unleashed a barrage of newfound power last night at the sports arena as he turned his tune-up fight into a tune-out for Billy Daniels of New York. The Bellflower bomber knocked Daniels out cold with a booming right at 2 minutes, 45 seconds into the first round. Daniels was hit so hard that he couldn't even get up after taking the 10 count. Quarry definitely looked stronger than ever and gave me this explanation.
I feel power that I never had before, and this is the big difference, this right hand. I've always had a left hand before, left hook and left jab. Even a jab only when I wanted to use it. I just didn't have that much confidence in it now. But I got everything going. I think I got everything going for me now. I got combinations. I punch in combinations. I punch with speed. I move on my feet. And I can throw this right hand to hurt anybody.
Someone else was hurting last night besides Billy Daniels. A small crowd of only 3,000 trickled into the sports arena, handing the Pacific Boxing Club its second loss at the box office in as many starts. The University of Southern California got off to a winning start last night by whipping Washington State 49-0 before more than 44,000 fans in their season opener at the Coliseum. John McKay's Trojans showed surprising speed against the Cougars, who couldn't cope with the quickness of O.J. Simpson, Earl McCullough, and Jim Lawrence. The Trojans take on tough Texas next, and Simpson told KRLA's Ken Jones he wasn't awed by the size of the Texans.
No, I'm just looking forward to it. The night was just great, to start off winning like this, and we'll be looking forward for Texas.
How does this team stack up in speed? This is one of the fastest Trojan teams I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. I never played with a team as fast as this. Earl and Lawrence boys can really get out and go, boy. They're pretty tough. It was, first game, and in the beginning I was kind of tense, but after I got hit a few times, I kind of loosened up. The boys on the line, they was just doing a great job tonight. Yeah, it was, beautiful holes.
And it was a beautiful way for SC to start the season. Collegiate football returns to the Coliseum tonight when UCLA breaks in their new season against Tennessee, and Coach Tommy Prothro is worried about their speed.
But the thing that bothers me more about Tennessee than anything else is their quickness.
We have prided ourselves on being quick in the past and have felt like we've played some teams that we've out-quicked. But I honestly believe that the University of Tennessee Saturday night will be the quickest football team that's ever played in the Coliseum.
And I honestly believe they will be out-quicked by the Bruins. Jim Stack, KRLA Sport.
Now, with our usual money-back guarantee for accuracy, we switch to our exclusive meteorological station at International Airport for the KRLA weather briefing.
Now here's KRLA's weekend meteorologist, Nick DiGilio.
Gray blanket of low cloudiness covering the L.A. basin extends from the Oakland area southward over the Gulf of Catalina into Old Mexico. Dense fog in eastern San Gabriel, San Fernando valleys in Orange County is hampering automobile transportation and aviation activities in the Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ontario areas this morning. The forecast for Los Angeles and the adjoining areas, heavy low cloudiness this morning, tonight, and Sunday morning. Dense fog in the eastern San Gabriel, San Fernando, and Orange County areas after midnight. Otherwise clear, partly cloudy this afternoon, with fog and low cloudiness dispersing by 11 a.m. and reforming after sundown. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, afternoon gusts to 15 miles per hour along the coast. High temperatures 85 in Orange County, Los Angeles, and Long Beach. 90 degrees in the valleys and 76 along the coast. Surf from Sunset and Huntington northward to Malibu and Zuma remains almost flat with 1 to 1.5 foot breakers and 68 to 70 degree water temperatures. The southern beaches will clear by noon, with the northern beaches remaining partly cloudy and cool. Low temperatures 58 to 60 in the eastern valleys and 64 along the coast, Orange County and the L.A. basin. And that's the latest weather from the KRLA Weather Center located at Los Angeles International Airport.
Present temperature downtown Los Angeles, 68 degrees. Ken Jones, KRLA News.
Mankind, dead kings, many things I can't define. Occasions, fires, fragments, lost of your mind. In the sense of compliments, the color of time. Who cares what games we choose? Little to win, but nothing to lose. In the sense of compliments, meaningless bounds. Turn on, tune in, turn your eyes around. Look at yourself, look at yourself. Cockeyed world in two. Throw your pride to one side, the least you can do. Beatniks and politics, nothing is new. A yardstick for lunatics, one point of view. Who cares what games we choose? Little to win, but nothing to lose.
And Pepper's to wake us up this morning on KRLA and the Casey Kasem program. Good morning, everybody. It's now 19 minutes past 9 o'clock. KRLA, Casey Kasem Showtime. And it's music right now, right up until 1 o'clock this afternoon, non-stop. Let's all wake up to Olympia.
Could Olympia brew beer without the water of Tumwater? Sure. But with any other water, it would taste like any
Washington. Good morning, everybody. Jay and the Techniques now. Apples, peaches, and pumpkin pie. Techniques on Non-Stop Radio and the Casey Kasem program for a Saturday morning. Apples, peaches, and pumpkin pie at 21 minutes past 9 o'clock. KRLA, Casey Kasem Showtime.
Hollywood Bowl, September 23rd, the many colors of Donovan.
Yellow is the color of my true love's here in the morning. I've got a meters well try and catch the wind. He's the universal soldier and he really is to blame. Sunshine came softly through my window today. Call me mellow yellow, right, slip.
KRLA presents with love Donovan in concert, Hollywood Bowl, September 23rd. Tickets at the House of Sight and Sound, Music City Stores, Mutual Ticket Agencies, and the Hollywood Bowl box office. In concert, Donovan, Hollywood Bowl.
KRLA preview.
Fancy picking right now on KRLA and the Casey Kasem program, a preview sound by Sam and Dave. Here we go.
Coming to you on a dust road. Good loving, I got a truckload. And when you get it, you got something. So don't worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man.
Oh, they didn't think I knew how to dance out here. I showed them. They took a vote. Guess what? That's right. No soul, man. No soul. Casey Kasem on a Saturday morning. Good morning, y'all. 25 minutes past 9. KRLA, Casey Kasem, showtime from the land of 1110, where it's happening, baby.
There's a land that's far away behind the sun, where it seems that everyone keeps having fun. It's the land for you and the land for me. It's the land where they wear monkey boo, monkey boo, monkey boo. It's the land of pretty birds and sweet sounding words, where they sing and dance and write their poetry with a glance. It's far away, so far away behind the sun. It's the land where they wear monkey boots.
More monkey boots for guys from Tom McCann with new squared-off toes, and Tom McCann monkey mini boots for girls with behind-the-sun colors, $5.99 to $10.99. Only Tom McCann is cool enough to have them.
It's got a place for you, and it's got a place for me. It's the land where they wear monkey boots, monkey boots.
And get your free KRLA water pipe poster at Tom McCann stores and see how many hidden words that you can find on the poster. Send your words to KRLA or pick out the entries with the highest correct total wins $100 cash from KRLA. So hurry, contest closes soon. Send your answer to Words KRLA, Pasadena. Well, tomorrow night, these lads get interviewed on KRLA, an open session tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. 8:30, KRLA joins Derek Taylor, 8:30 Sunday night.
There's a light, certain kind of light, that never shone on me. I want my life to be, live with you, live with you. There's a way, everybody says, to do each and every little thing. But what does it bring if I ain't got you? Ain't got. Hey, baby, you don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. In my parade, I see your face again. I know my friend man, you ain't got to be so glad, and I'm glad, so glad I'm a man. Can't you see what I am? I live, I breathe for you. But what good does it do if I ain't got you? Ain't got you. Baby, you don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. To love somebody, the way I love you.
Serving Southern California from Pasadena.
29 past 9 on non-stop Casey Kasem program on a Saturday morning from KRLA. Uh-oh. Come on now.
Don't you ever be sad. Lean on me in times of bad. When the day comes and you're down and I'm in trouble and I've got to drown, just hold
And a memory sound. Non-stoppable KRLA at 29 minutes before 10 o'clock. KRLA, Casey Kasem,
The
showtime.
wildest of the wild ones. The Wild Rebels. Who are the Wild Rebels? They're the outlaw cycles who smash up everything in sight. You see them screeching around corners, flying high and hell-bent for nowhere, with their mamas hanging on their backs. It's now. It's what's happening. It's the speed breed that knows no limits. See, the Wild Rebels, in Technicolor from Crown International, starring Steve Alimo, Willie Pastrano, John Vella, and Bobby Byers. See the wildest of the wild ones, who live for kicks, love for kicks, yeah, even kill for kicks. It's the motion picture motorcycle shocker of the year. The Wild Rebels.
Be sure to see The Wild Rebels starting on Wednesday at theaters and drive-ins all over Southern California. Big 11:10, and here's my pet.
There's a cat in the window, and he's watching all the birds go passing by. He'd love to fly out the window, go where the wind goes, and so would I. Like that cat in the window who keeps wishing for some wings to take a ride. I'd love to glide to a rainbow off where the clouds go dancing by. And if I could fly, you wouldn't find me hanging around, watching the birds go by. If the cat in the window has a tear in his eye, should leave find me, don't even try to.
All right, the Julia Clark from KRLA, non-stoppable Casey Kasem program on a Saturday morning.